Homer, still groggy, stepped into the water. When he opened his eyes, he saw Bart surfing. Maggie was drifting inside the microwave. Homer and Marge tried to recall what had happened. Yesterday, Marge was unhappy with the placement of the painting. Since she wasn't satisfied, Homer rehung it, and Marge asked him to move it a little to the left.
What's the difference? See, when you listen to me, we make a great team. It's almost like I can hear the ocean.
Marge thought both of them were at fault, and it would be fine if they just understood each other. Homer pulled the insurance policy out of the water and said they could file a claim. Soon, Homer and Marge went to the insurance company to inquire. Jill said they could not only get $102, but also receive 6 months rent reimbursement. As soon as Marge got the compensation, she started looking for a new place. She found a vacation rental for the kids, but none of them wanted to stay there. Just then, Abe appeared. Before any pleasantries were exchanged, Homer warned him not to think of getting unexpected money, but Abe said he needed surgery. Marge was the first to ask, as Abe was covered in something, but Abe didn't want to discuss it in public.
What could it be? Pain in the ass? Hands off! I need professional help!
Homer then took him to a quack clinic. The doctor insisted on a full-body checkup. The Simpsons had no choice but to wait at a restaurant. Lisa noticed the medical fees were ridiculously high, but in Denmark, it was free. Homer immediately retorted that Denmark forces citizens to pay taxes. Just then, Abe returned, saying the doctor couldn't help him.
You know, if Grandpa was in Denmark and he had an accident, he'd get medical care for free!
I can't go to Denmark by myself! I get lost in the middle of a sentence, and that was the best pie I ever had!
Marge had a sudden idea. She suggested using the compensation money to travel to Denmark. After all, it's the happiest country in the world. The family set off immediately for Copenhagen. Upon arrival, they stayed in a cleverly designed apartment. What seemed like a TV was actually a dishwasher, and inside the fridge was surprisingly a bed. The Simpsons, caught up in the atmosphere, held hands tightly.
His hands are covered with jam!
Take it off!
Grandpa's hands are too rough!
His hands are too soft!
Just keep holding!
There, Bart met the Little Mermaid from the movies and toured Amalienborg Square. Prince Christian helped Lisa pick up her things and even played a high note on the saxophone. Lisa immediately began imagining herself as a princess, exchanging messages with Prince Christian, attending balls together when grown up, and naturally getting married.
Oh, jeez, I saved your life. How about you're welcome?
Lisa loved Denmark so much she even wanted to stay a semester. She felt it was the perfect paradise, and she adored the national anthem. Bart and Lisa couldn't resist singing along. Marge noticed the children got along exceptionally well and tried to persuade Homer to stay, but Homer's mind was on the nuclear power plant, and all his friends were in Springfield. He reiterated that they were just there to take advantage of the compensation, then left with Abe, scheming to make Abe accidentally injured. But it couldn't be too serious. At this pace, they didn't know when they would return to Springfield. To get home sooner, Homer eventually took drastic measures at Kronborg Castle. Frightened, Abe immediately confessed. He only wanted to remove an old tattoo.
Now, Mona Malloy, who used to iron my shirts! Of course it's your mother!
The father and son then had a heartfelt talk, sharing everything about Mona, and Homer could no longer hold back his tears. At that moment, a woman approached, flirting with Homer.
Talking to you! I'll talk to someone my age!
She thought Homer's tears were very touching. Homer warned her that he was married, but she didn't care, saying that Danes have very open-minded views. Then she pulled Homer into a joyful dance. As fate would have it, Marge and the kids were shopping nearby and looked up to see the scene.
Oh my god.
Marge!
Where are you going?
Homer chased Marge back to the apartment. No matter how much he apologized, Marge refused to forgive him. Marge wanted to stay, but Homer wanted to return to Springfield.
Well, the kids can't just replace me!
He's so cozy. He can sleep with Mom. Can I get you a beer?
In the end, Homer and Abe left with their luggage. At airport security, Abe came over and urged him not to be so stubborn, explaining that his own stubbornness ruined his marriage, and now he only had an old tattoo left. Homer seemed to make up his mind. He rode a bike back to the apartment, finally realizing that wherever Marge was, that was home. Marge was happy he returned, but she wanted to go home too, since the washing machine couldn't even fit their underwear, and the days were too short there. They agreed to return to Springfield the next day.
So we're all united!
Yay!
But I can't help thinking I'm forgetting something.
Sir, those birds were already fed by the state. You are overfeeding them, which will kill them.